Hey guys, how's it going? How's your Thursday going? Mine's going great. I've taught a couple of classes today, did my workout, going to teach another class this evening. You might wonder why I do my own workout when I teach for a living, but doing your own workout is a little bit different because you can really focus on your own goals, so that's why I like to do my little half-hour workouts every day. Doing a program called Body Beast right now, which is just strength training because I do so much cardio with my spin classes that I teach. So really enjoying that. That's my fun time. So anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about ketosis and ketones and stuff. You've probably heard about the ketogenic diet and that kind of thing. It's been around for a while now. And a while back, someone had contacted me on Facebook wanting to know if I was interested in learning more. And the last time I had looked into ketosis and ketones, it seemed like all the evidence was saying that that it's not good for you. You shouldn't be putting your body into ketosis, and you can change your blood pH, and you can really do a lot of damage. So when this person contacted me, I just kind of dismissed it, and I should apologize to her for not looking more into it. What happened shortly after that was somebody came into my studio asking me, "Oh, have you heard of, this ketosis supplement and the ketosis diet and all of this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard of it." And she asked if I would be interested in looking a little more into it. And I said, "Yeah." I was kind of piquing my interest now because that was two people now that had brought it up to me. But then I kind of forgot about it and she didn't get back to me. And then I got an email. So this is the third person who is asking me about this. And I thought, okay, that's three people now. So I need to check this out, check out what the new evidence is and see what's going on. So I reached out to my nutrition mentor, Corey Hawley. I took his course years ago, Certified Sports Nutrition Advisor. Literally changed my life. Awesome course. And I asked him what he thought. And he was kind enough to share some videos with me, some YouTube videos. And what I'll do is I will post the video link in the comments so you guys can actually watch the video. It's an hour long, but it's a good video. Really interesting stuff. Hey, Emily, how's it going? So anyways, what I learned is that what they were telling us about ketosis and how unhealthy it was more in what happens to a type 1 diabetic. So what happens with a person with type 1 diabetic is they produce uncontrollable amounts of ketones, and that ends up putting them into ketogenic acidosis. So that is a very dangerous state to be in. But that won't happen to a healthy person. So as long as your body is producing insulin and you don't have type 1 diabetes, you can't put yourself into that state. You wouldn't be able to get your ketones up high enough to get yourself into that unhealthy state. So that was interesting in itself. So okay, I thought, okay, it's not as dangerous as they were saying when I originally looked into it. So I thought, okay, I'll dive a little more into this and see, why. Because when I've heard it before, it was focused on weight loss, and it just seemed like, okay, if it's just for weight loss, then, if you really need to lose a lot of weight, okay, maybe it's a good option. But, for the typical person who's just wanting to get healthy, why would they want to have ketones in their body? So I was watching the video, and the really interesting thing that really caught me was the potential for energy, because with carbohydrates, we can store, maybe 2,000 calories of carbohydrates, which is enough to get you through, a couple of hours of exercise, but you will run out of those carbohydrates relatively quickly. Whereas with fat, we can store, even a lean person, it can be anywhere from 20,000 up to 100,000 calories worth of energy to use. So if you can tap into that, I mean, imagine, if you're doing any kind of endurance things, you're not going to have to worry about bonking. I don't know if any of you have ever bonked before. Not a good feeling. Kind of a sort of an example of bonking is, when you eat something that's high in carbohydrates and then shortly after you just want to sleep. That's because your blood sugar shot up and then your blood sugar dropped right down. So that's sort of kind of like bonking. So if you could actually use your stored fat for energy, like, the potential is just amazing. And another thing a lot of us thought and believed was that our brains were dependent on carbohydrates to get energy. And it's actually not. Our brains will use it if it's available, but if we run out of our carbs, if we get really low on carbs, the brain can use fat for energy. So it's not actually glucose dependent like we kind of thought it was. So that was another interesting thing. So for me, it's the possibility to have, a greater amount of energy. Obviously, for what I do for a living, that would be huge. The other thing that I would be interested in is that I've heard that it helps to kind of clear that brain kind of fog. So you have more energy, like not the type of energy where you're all jittery from the caffeine, but just kind of a clear, focused energy. Hey, Joseph. Hi, April. So that was another thing that interests me because, I get that brain fog all the time and I need to be more focused. So I thought, oh, that's cool. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try out this ketone supplement that has been offered to me by 3 different people now. So I started it about a week ago, and so far so good. One thing I was worried about was maybe stomach upset, but nothing. My stomach was fine with it. Hey Stephanie, hi Elizabeth, and I did notice that I did feel more energetic and focused. Like I didn't feel all fuzzy in my brain like I do sometimes in the afternoon. So I did notice that. I haven't weighed myself or anything. That's not the reason why I'm doing this. I'm really not interested in that. But the energy, definitely. So I just kind of wanted to share what I've learned because, we hear a lot of different information, and if you were like me and the last time you heard about it, you heard it was unhealthy, it might be a good idea to kind of check it out again and see what the new evidence is showing. So I'll post that link in the comments so you guys can actually watch that YouTube video if you're interested. If you don't want to watch an hour-long video and you have some specific questions, feel free to fire them at me, and I'll answer them as best that I can. So that's it. Hey, Veronica. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I got to go and start getting ready for my next class. Good thing I love to spin. That's the 3rd one for me today. Love it. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I will talk to you again tomorrow.